Now we're up to the second Sunday of Lent, and the presentation is focusing on the Transfiguration. So this is how the session will go. I do have a couple of pages this time of the explanation from the Catechism of the Catholic Church and a bit of additional information. It's a very interesting topic and one that many people don't know a great deal about. So it's really worthwhile as a catechist to read that through before presenting, to give you the depth of understanding that's needed. And then for the materials, it's the figurines for the diorama, which I here, and you may not have these, because they've only just recently come to be, but you can replace any figures with similar things that you could put together from what you do have already. So all the best with that. We will be loading up the booklet for you. So the presentation goes as follows. The first part is the teacher introducing the words that will be relevant, and I'll do that for you right now. So it's as though I'm presenting to the children. The candle is not lit until we are reading from the Gospel. So the presentation to the children would go a bit like this. Well, there's some words to know and understand, and one of them is, or one set of words, Transfiguration of Jesus. A moment when Jesus' appearance became radiant, transfigured in the presence of 3 of his apostles. Mount Tabor is actually the mountain which is believed to be the mountain where it occurred. It is not actually mentioned in the passage, but here you can see where it is on the map. It's in Galilee, and Mount Tabor is here, and you can see where it is in relation to the Sea of Galilee and the region of Galilee itself. This is the region of Galilee. So that's where Mount Tabor is, and it's been always held to be the place where this event took place. And then 2 of the Old Testament figures. Moses is one figure, and he was a person who led the people out of the land of Egypt, and to whom God gave the 10 Commandments many centuries before Jesus came. Elijah is another prophet of the Old Testament times, and he represents all the prophets in his appearance in this particular passage. So children, this is a very special event that took place sometime before Jesus actually died on the cross. So we're going to light our candle. Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and went up to the mountain to pray. And as he was praying, the appearance of his countenance was altered, and his raiment became dazzling white. And behold, 2 men talked with him, Moses and Elijah. Who appeared in glory and spoke of his departure, which he was to accomplish in Jerusalem. Now, Peter and those who were with him were heavy with sleep, but kept awake. And they saw his glory, and the 2 men who stood with him. And as the men were parting from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it's well that we are here. Let's make 3 booths, one for you, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not understanding what he said. And as he said this, a cloud overcame and overshadowed them, and they were afraid as they entered into the cloud. And a voice came from the cloud, saying, "This is my Son, my chosen. Listen to him." And when the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone, and they kept silence and told no one in those days anything of what they had seen. So I wonder why Jesus only chose these 3 apostles to witness the event of Moses and Elijah meeting him and God the Father speaking to him. I wonder what Jesus and Moses and Elijah may have been speaking of when they mention, as it says here, they spoke of his departure, which he was to accomplish at Jerusalem. I wonder what impact the words of God the Father would have had on the apostles. I wonder why the apostles kept quiet about the event for some time to come. And after introducing those I wonder questions, which you give children time to respond, you might not want to cover them all. You might want to make a little addition, as I just did, by I had actually put the question as what Jesus, Moses and Elijah may have been speaking of, and then I decided to add in that little bit that they spoke of his departure, which he was to accomplish at Jerusalem, because the children may not have taken those words in at the time. So they might need a little reminder. You can always turn back to the page and just sense where the children are at. If there's time, they can use the diorama themselves and retell the event. They'll love this one. And engage in a simple craft activity. There are lots of things they could take home of Jesus being transfigured and the figures there. You can find a lot of those on various Christian craft places and download from the internet, or reading the account from the Bible or the Children's Bible. Lots of things that they can do there for the second Sunday of Lent.